She was once the woman standing quietly beside golf's golden legend, Tiger Woods. Ellen Nordegren was elegant, composed, and always seemed just out of reach. But after enduring one of the most shocking and public betrayals in sports history, she vanished from the spotlight without a trace. So what really happened to Ellen Nordegren? Was she crushed by the heartbreak and public humiliation? Surprisingly, Ellen resurfaced in a place nobody expected, living a life that would leave you completely stunned. Headlines hinted at the drama, but the truth about her divorce from Tiger Woods never hit the front page. And when you see how she's living now, you'll be shocked beyond belief. The fairy tale beginning. Before she became one of the most talked about women in sports media, Ellen Nordegren led a quiet, disciplined life in Stockholm, Sweden, far away from the relentless media glare that would later follow her. Born on January 1, 1980, she grew up in a family that valued intellect, hard work, and privacy. Her mother, Barbara Holberg, was a respected politician who eventually served as Sweden's Minister for Migration and Asylum Policy, while her father, Thomas Nordegren, was a renowned radio journalist and foreign correspondent, constantly on the move. Surrounded by driven, serious-minded people, Ellen absorbed a sense of stability and resilience that would later serve her well. From an early age, she wasn't chasing fame. She studied hard, worked part-time jobs, and dabbled in modeling just enough to support herself financially. Despite some early magazine shoots in Sweden, Ellen never pursued it as a full-time career. Her move to the United States was more a stroke of practicality than ambition. After finishing high school, she worked in a clothing store, where fate introduced her to Mia Parnevik, the wife of Swedish pro golfer Jasper Parnevik. Impressed by Ellen's reliability and grace, Mia offered her a job as a nanny for their children. Ellen accepted and moved to the U.S., living with the Parneviks in Florida. Jasper's deep ties to the pro golf scene meant the family was always attending tournaments and mingling with players. Through this circle, Ellen gradually met the world of American sports celebrities, and eventually Tiger Woods, who was at the absolute peak of his career. With multiple major titles belted behind him and a billion-dollar brand growing around his name, Tiger Woods was a global icon. But when he first noticed Ellen, she wasn't the only one catching eyes. Reports and interviews from the time revealed that several golfers were eager to meet her, but it was Tiger who left the mark that mattered. At first, Ellen had zero interest in dating him. Jasper Parnevik later admitted that she had a strict rule about avoiding the chaos that came with high-profile athletes. Her quiet, low-key life in Stockholm, Sweden had never prepared her for constant paparazzi flashes, tabloid rumors, and endless public scrutiny. It reportedly took months of patient persistence from Tiger before she finally agreed to a date. What started with small, private dinners and discreet getaways quickly spiraled into a whirlwind romance, one of the most public love stories the sports world had ever seen. In 2003, Tiger popped the question during a trip to South Africa while competing in a tournament. The engagement took place at the ultra-luxurious Shamiwari Game Reserve, famous for its secluded beauty and wild safaris, a setting straight out of a dream. Less than a year later, in October 2004, they tied the knot on the Caribbean paradise of Barbados. The wedding was held at the opulent Sandy Lane Resort, one of the priciest and most exclusive venues in the world. The ceremony had everything you'd expect for a golf superstar and his bride: grand, lavish, and intensely private. The guest list read like a who's who of sports royalty and high-profile celebrities. Dozens of security guards were stationed throughout the property, keeping media and nosy onlookers away. The event wasn't just a wedding, it was a statement. It symbolized wealth, status, and exclusivity, but it also highlighted just how dramatically Ellen's life had changed forever. In the years that followed, the couple settled into a massive mansion in Windermere, Florida. Their estate had it all: private docks, state-of-the-art security systems, and every luxury you could imagine. Despite being half of what many called the golden couple, Elin stayed almost invisible. She rarely gave interviews or made public appearances, while Tiger was everywhere, winning tournaments, starring in commercials, and building his global empire. In 2007, they welcomed their first child, a daughter named Sam Alexis Woods. Remarkably, she was born the day after Tiger finished second in the US Open, rushing back to support her. 2 years later, in 2009, their son, Charlie Axel Woods, arrived. Publicly, they looked like the perfect modern family. 2 beautiful kids, a sports legend at the top of his game, and a devoted mother who chose home life over fame. For years, there were no signs of trouble. They vacationed in the Bahamas, attended select events, and carefully curated their public image. Elin, despite being one of the most sought-after figures in entertainment, refused to step into the spotlight. She consistently turned down interviews, even with big money on the table, choosing instead to protect her privacy. Behind closed doors, though, Elin reportedly struggled. The pressures of being married to one of the world's most famous athletes were intense. She longed for the anonymity of her past, shopping in peace, walking without paparazzi, and having conversations without cameras looming. Life in Tiger Woods' shadow meant even the tiniest detail could hit the headlines. Their home life was fiercely guarded. Wedding photos stayed private. No reality shows, no interviews, no social media posts. Elin's silence became her trademark, turning her into a mystery, a woman the world saw but never really knew. Yet, the glamour and secrecy began to take a toll. As Tiger's fame skyrocketed and the media grew more invasive, the challenge of maintaining privacy became nearly impossible, and the weight of that life started to show. For someone who had never chased the spotlight, being thrown into one of the most scrutinized marriages in the world was a shock to the system. Up to this point, everything seemed picture perfect. To the public, there was a loving father, a devoted mother, and a life straight out of a fairy tale. That's why when it all came crashing down, it wasn't just a scandal, it was absolutely jaw-dropping. Beneath the surface, cracks were forming. From the outside, Tiger Woods was untouchable, the man who could do no wrong. By the late 2000s, he wasn't just a golfer, he was a legend rewriting the rules of the sport. Records were shattered, history was rewritten, and his influence stretched far beyond the green. Billion-dollar endorsements, luxury partnerships, and major brand deals followed him everywhere. His face symbolized discipline, focus, and relentless perfection. Yet, maintaining that glossy surface came with a price. By 2008, Tiger Woods wasn't just an athlete, he was a global brand. Every move, every appearance, every smile was carefully calculated to project perfection. Nike, Gillette, and countless other major companies relied on his image, making him a living emblem of success. Yet, behind the glossy surface, things were shifting. Insiders noticed subtle changes, whispers of erratic schedules, mysterious solo trips, and a growing emotional distance between Tiger and Elin. The aura of invincibility that once surrounded him was starting to crack. And the physical toll was real too. Multiple knee surgeries, including a major one in 2008, right after winning the US Open on a broken leg, reminded everyone that even legends are human and vulnerable. The pain was unbearable, and Tiger's ability to perform at his peak relied heavily on medication. Reports later suggested that he became dependent on painkillers, which only added to his stress and destroyed his sleep. Chronic insomnia reportedly haunted him, leaving nights filled with restlessness, isolation, and a mind spiraling under pressure. The delicate balance between personal well-being and public expectation was unraveling piece by piece. In hindsight, many now see that the mix of physical pain, emotional exhaustion, and the suffocating weight of perfection created the perfect storm for reckless choices, symptoms of a life lived under unrelenting scrutiny. Tiger was trapped in a pressure cooker where judgment blurred, priorities shifted, and secrecy felt like the only survival tactic. But everything came to a head in the early hours of November 27, 2009, Thanksgiving weekend, at the Woods Mansion in Windermere, Florida. What exactly happened that night remains murky, but the result was impossible to ignore. Around 2:30 a.m., Tiger crashed his Cadillac Escalade into a fire hydrant and a tree just steps from his driveway. Initially reported as a minor accident, the story quickly escalated into a scandal that would shock the world. According to multiple sources, earlier that evening, Ellen had confronted Tiger over suspicious texts she discovered on his phone. The messages allegedly involved another woman, one of the several he was later linked to. What followed was reportedly a heated argument. Some say Ellen demanded answers while Tiger tried to deflect. In the chaos, it's rumored that Ellen grabbed a golf club, not to attack him, but to smash the SUV's back window as he tried to drive away. Neighbors who rushed outside after hearing the crash found Tiger unconscious on the ground and Ellen standing over him. Emergency responders arrived swiftly, taking him to a nearby hospital. The official police report was vague, avoiding anything that hinted at domestic conflict, but the tabloids, hungry for scandal, dug deep, and what they uncovered sent shockwaves through the sports world. In the days that followed, women began coming forward. One by one, waitresses, nightclub workers, and women from various cities claimed affairs with Tiger during his marriage. Some even shared voicemails or text messages, while others sold their stories to tabloids. The number of alleged encounters kept growing, fueling a full-scale media frenzy. Every detail, no matter how small or unverified, was dissected, analyzed, and broadcast worldwide. The backlash hit Tiger hard, leaving his image and his marriage in ruins. Corporate sponsors started pulling away fast. Accenture dropped Tiger completely, ending a 6-year partnership. Gillette scaled back his campaigns, and even Gatorade quietly pulled the custom Tiger Focus drink from stores. The man who had once personified discipline and trust was suddenly a walking PR disaster. And it wasn't just about infidelity, it was about image, deception, and a carefully built empire collapsing in real time. Tiger finally broke his silence with a public apology. In February 2010, he held a press conference and released a carefully worded statement, admitting he had let his family down. He expressed deep remorse and announced an indefinite break from professional golf. For someone whose life had revolved around routine, training, and control, it was shocking. The sport moved on without him, and so did the rankings. By the end of 2010, he hadn't won a single tournament, the first time since turning pro, and his world ranking had plummeted from number 1 to number 58 in just a year. Through it all, Ellen stayed completely silent. No angry statements, no interviews, no public outbursts hinted at her state of mind. The same woman who had resisted fame from the very beginning refused to exploit it, even as the world begged for her voice. Media outlets speculated endlessly. Was she leaving him? Instead of playing into the chaos, Ellen focused on protecting her children and reclaiming whatever privacy she could from a life that had taken almost everything from her. Reports suggested her divorce settlement was massive, rumored around $100 million, making it one of the priciest celebrity splits in history. While the exact numbers were never confirmed, the media couldn't stop talking about it. Headlines painted her as everything from a quiet victim to a brilliant strategist. Tabloids speculated endlessly. Was she cold and calculating, or heartbroken and helpless? The custody arrangement was equally scrutinized. Both Ellen and Tiger shared parenting responsibilities, with the children splitting time between their homes. Insiders described the arrangement as respectful and focused entirely on the kids' well-being. From the start, it was clear that Ellen's priority wasn't money, it was stability for Sam and Charlie. She wanted to shield them from the chaos that had consumed their family, and she was willing to do whatever it took to make that happen. Still, the public refused to let her go quietly. Paparazzi hounded her every move. She was photographed walking alone on the beach, carrying groceries, or taking her kids to playgrounds. Magazines dissected every image for clues. Was she smiling? Looking tired? Had she lost weight? She was reduced to a symbol, the betrayed wife, the dignified ex. But behind the labels was a real woman dealing with real grief. Not just the collapse of her marriage, but the relentless invasion of her private life. Eventually, Ellen spoke out in an interview with People magazine, her first and only detailed public statement about the scandal. Calm and composed, she admitted she had been blindsided, saying, "I'm so embarrassed that I never suspected. For the past 3.5 years, when all this was going on, I was home more with pregnancies than with the children in my school." That one quote cut through months of speculation. Ellen had no knowledge of Tiger's affairs. She hadn't turned a blind eye. She hadn't quietly accepted it for money or image. She simply trusted her husband, believed in her family, and assumed the life they built was real. The silence didn't stop the headlines. Some outlets accused her of using the scandal to secure wealth and status. Others tried to paint her as a manipulative figure behind closed doors, spinning tales of secret anger or hidden demands. But none of it stuck. Not because the media lacked imagination, but because Ellen didn't feed the machine. She never leaked anonymous quotes. She never made a flashy appearance to prove a point. Instead, she went quiet again, and that silence became her superpower. The emotional toll, however, was real. For a woman who had never chased fame, being followed, analyzed, and dissected globally was traumatic. She later admitted there were days she didn't want to get out of bed, times she questioned everything she believed about love, trust, and family. But as the dust settled, Ellen began making decisions that would redefine her life forever. While the media eventually moved on, the impact of that period stayed with her. And then came the move that shocked everyone. Not a tabloid-friendly stunt, not a reality TV comeback, but a quiet, deliberate reinvention. After surviving one of the most public betrayals in modern celebrity history, Ellen Nordgren didn't disappear. She didn't chase headlines or revenge. She reshaped her life entirely on her own terms. In the years after her scandalous divorce from Tiger Woods, Ellen made a choice that stunned many. She went back to school. At a time when other high-profile ex-wives were launching brands or reality TV shows, Ellen enrolled at Rollins College in Winter Park, Florida. This wasn't a PR stunt or a short certificate course. It was full academic commitment. She studied psychology with intense focus, often sitting in classrooms surrounded by students who barely knew her story. She didn't just attend, she excelled. In 2014, she graduated with a 3.96 GPA, earning her bachelor's in psychology and finishing at the top of the class. She even received the prestigious Outstanding Senior Award, recognizing her academic excellence, character, and contribution to the college community. At her graduation, she gave a short, moving speech about resilience, gratitude, and the value of personal growth, a far cry from the headlines she'd once endured. Psychology wasn't just a degree for Ellen, it was a way to understand, process, and eventually advocate for mental health and emotional well-being, topics she knew intimately. At the same time, she ventured into real estate. Always passionate about design, she purchased a $12 million oceanfront mansion in North Palm Beach in 2011. But instead of moving in, she tore it down and rebuilt it from scratch, blending Swedish minimalism with coastal luxury. By 2020, she sold it for $28.6 million, more than double her investment. Unlike many celebrities chasing social media fame, she built success quietly, strategically, and entirely on her own terms. Ellen never became a lifestyle brand. No workout plans, podcasts, or fashion collabs. She chose financial independence and privacy over public attention. Eventually, she found love again, but quietly. In 2017, she started dating Jordan Cameron, a former NFL tight end who had retired early due to concussions. Thoughtful, grounded, and calm, Jordan complemented her perfectly. In 2019, they welcomed a son. The news only surfaced after fans spotted her baby bump at a soccer game. Even then, no official statement was made. Later, Cameron confirmed they were focused on raising their child in peace away from the media frenzy. Today, Ellen is happy, grounded, and thriving. She co-parents respectfully with Tiger Woods, focusing on raising Sam and Charlie in stability. She cheers from the sidelines at Charlie's golf tournaments, never stealing the spotlight. She owns multiple properties in Florida, lives modestly, and dedicates herself to family, personal growth, and mental health advocacy. The woman once plastered across every tabloid is now almost invisible to the public, and perhaps that's her most powerful transformation, from being defined by someone else's choices to building a life entirely on her own terms. Do you think Ellen Nordgren is truly happy with the life she's built away from the spotlight? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more stories like this one, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an update.